What's up, guys? It is Uncle Freedom coming to you in a glorious and well-deserved day off. Very well-deserved this time. I have been at work for 10 of the last 11 overnights. Yeah, I even took a break in between two shifts to bring you a Sims pistol video. I was pretty proud that I got that out as quick as I was, and the response was overwhelming. And what do people want to see? Well, people want to see what it takes to turn a rifle into a force-on-force rifle. So, guys, that's what we're going to look at today. So go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend. Comment, do the YouTube thing down below, because we are growing. And if we want to talk about how much we're growing, well, 5 days ago I had 3,000 subscribers, and I thought that was wild. 5 days later I have over 4,100 subscribers, and it's even more wild. It's great, it's fantastic, and I appreciate it, and thank you very much for what you've done. That said, we've unlocked some cool stuff from YouTube, which I'm not entirely sure how all of this works. I'm still feeling my way through it, so yeah, just figuring that out. I've added the super thanks thing, which I'm not entirely sure how it works. They do put ads, and I was monetized for now because I do gun content. Probably not for very long, but it is what it is. So that's where we're at. I do my best to respond and answer people when you do there, but like I said, I get a ton of comments now, so I started an Instagram page. It is at Uncle Freedom 213. Again, that is at Uncle Freedom 213 on Instagram. Feel free to send me a message over there. I check that mailbox every day. I try to get back to people. I even had a very long conversation with a gentleman who is looking forward to becoming a law enforcement officer here in the very near future, because he has come to the realization that it's a lot easier to change the course of a machine if you're inside of it and not outside throwing rocks at it. Just how it is. So that's great. We need as many good people in law enforcement as we can get to weed out the bad ones that don't fucking belong here anymore. I said fuck. Somebody's gonna get mad because I curse a lot. I'm sorry. I'm a grown adult. I just cuss. I get it. Right? I don't know. I'm not safe for work. I don't know what to tell you. I've spent almost all of my adult life in some form of EMS, fire, police, law, or military. So it is what it is. One of the things we have coming up now is we're going to be doing some 300 blackout and 308 defensive loads. I had a lot of questions about those, and I have a lot of data to help you out with those things too. I love a 30 cal. I love all 30 cals. I take them all in, and they are my children, and I love and caress them. Everything from 9-inch and 12-inch 300 blackouts to 308s and 20-inch guns, 18-inch guns, 24 and 26 bolt guns, to 30-06. Love it. Heart. Love 30-06. To 300 Win Mag, 300 Wisdom, and 300 PRC. Even have a new 7 PRC I am just finishing building out, waiting on an optic to come in, and that is going to be wild as hell to go reload for. So that's what's coming up. That's what's coming down the pipe. So now let's take a look at what it takes to turn your AR into a force-on-force tool. So when I talk about an AR, what am I talking about? Unlike shooting a Sims handgun, you do not have to buy an entirely new freaking rifle to shoot Sims. You can, or you can just grab one of your tools that you got. This is one of mine. This is my nostalgia tool. I'm waiting on my CCO, my 68, yeah. For those of you that know, you know, back when SOPMod was just as a thing for the SOPMod systems, yeah, the 68 was awesome with terrible batteries. I didn't like them at all. They were not normal batteries. But anyway, this was one of my nostalgia builds. 16-inch mid-length gas system, flip-up rear sight. The only thing really modified on here we've got is the Arrow breech charging handle, K&S anti-walk pins, and a 2-stage trigger, because I like those. So if I wanted to take this very plain Jane rifle and make this into a force-on-force gun, this is why this is so important. So let's say we're going to use my Mark 18 with an AT PLC on it and a Surefire M600 until I get my Cloud Defensive Rain, which is going to be the next thing, and my EOTech, right? Let's say I want to take that boy because I use that and I want to turn that into my force-on-force gun. I can do it. It doesn't matter. I can take this and do it. Doesn't matter. That's what makes the force-on-force stuff so cool, because and not having to buy an entirely new firearm category in order to run force-on-force is kind of what makes the 5.56 side of it so appealing. So if we look at the ammunition, normal ammo versus this ammo, well, if we look at the base of them, you will notice something very different. If you look closely, force-on-force ammo is a different size head. It is a smaller diameter case head, which means that the corresponding bolt is smaller diameter. Why is it like that? Well, because if you are stupid and put a normal round inside of there, you can't fire it, which is going to become very apparent as to why that's important. So if we look at the Force on Force ammo, this is a very simple setup here. We have an aluminum case, plastic shoulder and neck, and then a very small little blue projectile on the end. This is a whopping 4-grain projectile coming out of your rifle at an amazing and blistering 400 to 550 feet per second, generating a mind-numbing and blowing 1.4 to 2.7 foot-pounds of energy. Stopping power. Take that, 45. Anyway, but what we're looking at with this is these are purpose designed for very specific things. This ammo out of a 16-inch barrel or a 10.5-inch barrel will basically shoot right into a 3-inch group at about 40 feet. CQB distance, small group, right? That's what we're looking for. However, if I back that up to my maximum kind of combat effective range, I can get all the way back to 90 feet or 27.5 meters. That's a long hallway, guys, or a long auditorium shot in some places. That's where it kind of makes the money. I can get combat effective accuracy training with one of these all the way out to about 30 meters. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, you would think that these would be, you can't shoot as close up because it can shoot farther. You would be wrong. This has the exact same 1-foot standoff that I had in a handgun, which means if I turn a corner and you're there, I can yeet yo shit at a foot, okay? Keep that in mind. So there we go. Another reason that it's very important that we make sure safety is of utmost importance. Like I told you guys with the handgun, wear a cup because it'll swell your boys up to the size of freaking oranges. Unless you've already got them the size of oranges, in that case, we might be talking about coconuts or small bowling balls. Who knows? But you're going to wear things like your normal armor. You're going to wear things like a throat protector and a big face mask with a hood on the back of it so that you don't get brained in the back of the skull because that shit hurts a lot. You wouldn't think it would with only 2.7 pounds of energy. You would be wrong. It sucks. I will absolutely promise you it sucks. So when you buy this ammo comes in the cool little Speer Federal boxes. Looks like this. Yes, I know it's backwards. It's not a camera trick. It's just the fact that I'm on my phone doing this. So what does it take? How do we function a normal AR? Well, to function a normal AR, you have to have the AR platform itself, a feeding device of some kind, ammunition of some kind, and then you need the heart of your system, which is your bolt carrier group. This is a standard Toolcraft bolt carrier group with a Carpenter 158 bolt on here that is magnetic particle inspected and high pressure tested. We're looking at a phosphate finish. I have my gas key up here. I have my cam pin right there, and I have a rotating locking bolt and a free float firing pin. Plain Jane, really standard. Anybody that shoots an AR knows what this is. So I just told you everything it took. Now let's look what it takes to actually modify your stuff to run for Force on Force. So first up, what we're going to need is we're going to need a mag. Now this is no different than this other Lancer mag other than the fact that it's transparent and blue. Transparent and blue mags are the universal force safety. That's the reason that your training tourniquets are a blue color, your Sims handgun is a blue color, and your blue gun is a blue gun most of the time, unless you get like an orange one from Blackhawk or the red guns version. I know there's differences, you know, whatever. The standard is the blue gun, if you will. Same deal. We have a blue transparent magazine so that when it is loaded, I may see stuff that's not normal ammo because safety is the utmost of importance. Pay attention. It's utmost of importance. Sorry if that was loud. Because you're going to actually shoot at other people on purpose that are your friends. There's no room for error when we play this game, okay? So next up, from there, you're going to have the heart of the system again, and that is your bolt carrier group. Now, you may look at this and be like, well, it's blue. You just told me blue's for training. There's some other very important differences with this bolt carrier group. First off, there's a plug in the back that says check your bore. So when you insert this in the gun, you immediately go and look at your bore to make sure you didn't do something dumb. This also has a reduced bolt face diameter, meaning that your standard 5.56 bolt case head will not actually seat in this guy, preventing you from firing it. Not saying it's an impossibility. I'm saying you're going to have to work pretty hard forward assist the dog shit out of it. You will also notice there is no forward assist to prevent you from beating it into something that it's not supposed to have in it. No means no, guys. Just so we're clear. The other things we're going to notice with this bolt carrier group, weight-wise, pretty much exactly the same. Has a free float firing pin, just like a normal bolt carrier group. But we're missing a couple of things, namely a gas key. And that's because this is not designed to function off of a direct impingement or your HK416s, any of your piston ARs. It doesn't matter. It works in all of them. It's also full auto rated. Keep that in mind. You will also notice one more thing that's a big deal on this guy. There is no divot on here the way there is a divot on here. That is to open your dust cover as soon as you cycle the bolt. In this world, we don't need you to close the dust cover. I need to look over and see that you have a training bolt in the gun. It's another indicator to me when combined with things like this right here that tells me that's set up for sims. No question in my mind, right? That's why we don't let you use these kinds of mags. It's why these are bright colored, because we can immediately identify that that is in fact a training bolt, okay? Next up from there, you'll notice that the bolt head itself is a lot longer. That is because this is not designed to fire as a rotating locking bolt, okay? This doesn't need to lock and unlock. This goes straight in, functions purely on blowback because our ammunition is powered by a primer only. So when we take this guy and we load this into the gun with the correct ammunition, the force-on-force stuff, we get an actual guy that links onto here, right? So now we have the reduced diameter bolt face in here. We have the inability to close the dust cover, so it's always visible that it's blue. We're minus a gas key. We have a non-locking bolt and a big yellow thing on the back that says check your bore. That is all it takes to modify your favorite AR into a force-on-force tool. That's it. Your charging handle works just fine. Everything you've got works just fine. Your LPVO, your red dot, your EOTech, your UH1, your 5-in-1 laser LPVO red dot, NC Starathon Amazon special. It doesn't matter. Whatever it was, it still works, okay? Even if it doesn't matter what your IR laser device is, or if you've got a visible laser, whatever flashlight you've got, none of that matters. It works every time because you changed out to the correct bolt to make it work. So guys, that is all it takes to swap out your AR, your favorite go to war, go to hell rifle, and change it out. I will tell you something to keep in mind. You can run the hell out of your AR on this stuff and never clean it. You cannot do that with this. This is plastic, okay? Those of you that have fired lots of sabos and stuff out of shotguns, and muzzle loaders especially, plastic leaves residue inside of barrels. You do not have to worry about the pressures, the heat, and the velocity that you would normally see, so you're not going to get as much of it melting off, but you still need to make sure you clean your rifle after you shoot force-on-force out of it to make sure you don't have any hiccups with the real ammunition causing a problem when you actually need your gun and you get a click instead of a boom, which if nobody told you is the absolute loudest sound in any gunfight ever. Is a click when you're expecting a boom or a boom when you were not expecting a boom, okay? Those are very loud noises. Don't want to hear that. Dead man's guns are bad. Make sure you clean it after your force-on-force encounters. Make sure you wear proper equipment for safety, face mask, neck cover, cup, for the love of God. You don't want to scramble your eggs, especially if you're younger and you haven't created additions to the human race that will deepen the gene pool instead of making it more shallow. Please wear a cup. So that's it, guys. That's all it takes. You're talking about a mag, and you're talking about a bolt carrier group. And those two things alone provide you the safety, the blowback, and the functionality to turn any AR you've got into a force-on-force tool. Combine that with the correct ammunition, and you can shoot your buddies to heart's content with the proper safety equipment, getting incredibly effective training things. The recoil itself is actually pretty consistent. Because this bolt carrier group is actually about the same weight, you're getting about the same mass, almost the same recoil impulse coming back at you. All of your mitigations for the pistol stuff is exactly the same for the rifle stuff, meaning a tarp hanging 4 to 5 inches off a wall. I told one guy, take a pool noodle, staple your tarp to the pool noodle, and stick the pool noodle to the wall. Now you have offset from the wall, enabling it to diffuse the energy from the plastic pellet, so you don't dent somebody's sheetrock and get your butt whooped by your wife. Because we can all say, it's my house, I run this bitch, it's mine, I bought it. But we all know that you wear the pants if she's not around. Facts, right? If you're married, you know. If you're not married, well, just wait. You'll figure it out. So there you go, guys. I am Uncle Freedom. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, do the YouTube thing. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. For the love of God, go train. And if you can legally own a firearm, legally carry that son of a bitch, because we need more armed citizens in this country, because an armed society is, in fact, a polite society. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later.